Investments was the announced topic of the press conference by the elected president of the United States in Florida. However, Donald Trump also discussed ecology, Greenland, and the Panama Canal. The central theme became criticism of President Biden's administration. In this context, Trump mentioned the potential membership of Ukraine in NATO. Earlier, Donald Trump had already stated that Ukraine's potential entry into NATO was one of the reasons behind Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine.
You know, a big part of the problem was Russia for many, many years, long before Putin said you could never have NATO involved with Ukraine. Now, they've said that. That's been like written in stone. And somewhere along the line, Biden said, no, they should be able to join NATO. Well, then Russia has somebody right on their doorstep, and I could understand their feeling about that. But there were a lot of mistakes made in that negotiation. And when I heard the way that Biden was negotiating, I said, you're going to end up in a war. And it turned out to be a very bad war. And it could escalate. That war could escalate to be much worse than it is right now.
President Volodymyr Zelensky acknowledged that there is no consensus with NATO regarding Ukraine's potential membership in the alliance. According to him, one of the reasons for the war Russia launched against Ukraine is the fact that Ukraine is not a NATO member and lacks reliable security guarantees.
If we speak openly, we must point out that honestly, they didn't see us there. I believe this is one of the reasons why we have this war. They didn't fear that Ukraine would align with anyone. Putin understood that no one would come to Ukraine's defense. He knew his army was bigger and he could destroy us. But the Ukrainian army consists of strong people. Our people have amazed the whole world.
As for the prospect of NATO membership, the head of state believes it is too soon to make conclusions.
I will discuss this with the President of the United States. Don't make immediate conclusions about the policies of the US. Remember, Ukraine was told that Patriot systems could only be used in NATO countries. Well, either we are already in NATO or we should not make quick conclusions. We need to work and do everything to make sure that Ukraine gets security guarantees that are worthy of our people and that could stop Putin.
The Kremlin's red line was NATO expansion. However, after Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, Finland abandoned its neutral status and became a member of the North Atlantic Alliance. Another red line of Putin's turned out to be an illusion.
We have been very clear in our messages, not just towards the American audience and Mr. Upcoming President Trump and his team, that there is no threat coming out of NATO. It is very much a Russian long-used narrative of blaming NATO or the so-called expansion of NATO for its own aggression. NATO expands when the free people in democratic nations choose to join. And this certainly happened with Finland and Sweden, and this one day, and hopefully in the near future, will happen for the Ukrainian people as well, since they so choose.
Kit Kellogg, nominated by Donald Trump as a special envoy for Ukraine and Russia, stated that the words of the elected U.S. president should not be interpreted as an intention to make concessions to Putin.
He's actually trying to save Ukraine and save their sovereignty, and he's going to make sure that it's equitable and that it's fair, and he said that repeatedly, both when Zelensky met him in Trump Tower and when he said it on his press conferences.
Kyiv aims to obtain security guarantees from its partners to prevent future aggression from Russia. However, as stated earlier by Ukraine's Minister of Foreign Affairs, these guarantees cannot replace NATO membership. Moreover, the permanency of Euro-Atlantic integration is rooted in Ukraine's constitution. Reported by Alexandra Zaslavets, Andriy Dmitrenko, UATV News.